you all will be having a great time. But we in Islamabad are having a very pleasant weather, and due to that one, I think everybody looks like sleepy because if the weather is nice, everybody want to take a nap. Don't worry, I think Murza has arranged a very nice program today also. And as you all are part of this international virtual master trainer workshop on effective online teaching and assessment skills. So we are very lucky. So we really enjoyed the presentation by one of the academic leader, Dr. Sajjad Ahmad Madni. He is director of ComSet University at Y Campus. And I already, you all are introduced to him already. So, I mean, he will be with us today. We are very thankful to him for being with us earlier and today also. I don't know where he is sitting, looks like either he is in the kitchen or he is in some like, I mean, a nice place, which I can see it like in Brazil and Portugal. I used to teach over there. They have a such beautiful wood he has, I think, wherever he is. But today, another colleague also, and he is Mr. Nadeem Akbar. Is Mr. Nadeem Akbar in? Okay, so I think we have been talking a lot, and as you know, hopefully this corona will be coming. But it gave us a lesson that we have to be always ready for alternative means of educational activities. And that we have been talking all the time, thanks to Mursa Noor for bringing all these people. Like, I mean, I don't know how he do it because everybody is busy nowadays. But I mean, I always see your great participation also. And of course, our resource person are always with us. So today, what we are doing, we will be doing a different, like, I mean, what we will do. So we will challenge. So what will be the challenges like we discussed earlier, I mean, and how we can like on collective level and overcome those challenges. So, I mean, you can, the format will be very like, I mean, a friendly one. Like you can identify the challenge and it will be good if you tell us the solution also. If you don't have it, and they will try to help us. And basically, Madni Saab, because he has one of the top-notch setup in virtual education, so he will be assisting us. Like, I mean, he will be helping us. He will be guiding us. So if there is anything come on that side. So without any delay, I think I will start because being a vice chancellor of a skill university, so my challenge is, and anybody can come in and tell me, like, I mean, as you all know, education has two components. And one is the cognitive component, the other one is a physical component. And most of the time, like, I mean, we in universities, we try to empower the people in their cognitive component. And of course, like ours, like a skill importing university. I mean, it's very important. Like there should be a major component of physical component, and that you should know that how you can do the things. Like, I mean, of course, there will be a virtual hindrances also. But for this one, I would like to, I think, share with you a couple of interesting slides, and then we will go to I don't think I have my slide. I'm sorry for that one. So, but I can share with you what I want to talk to you. So, anybody know that when is the American election? Oh my God, nobody follow America. I mean, I know everybody follow American election.
It's October always.
Yeah, it's always in October. So, Doctor, thank you very much. And basically, American elections, they are always, because I serve in US for almost 20 years. So every election is on certain causes. Like, I mean, people, they come up and they system, it's a great learning also. And end of the day, like, I mean, two candidate comes up, one on the always like Democrat and the other on the Republican side. And then those two candidates, they are again, like, I mean, challenged with a cause. And one of the most important cause that has emerged, and this is the first time coming in the history, is a skill education. And why skill education? In US, it has been realized that 54% of the jobs, for 54% of the job, if you are in US, you don't need a bachelor degree. You just need a skill, some type of skill education to get a job and to move with your life. And that's the way it goes. The voters, they are, and this was a data by the Gates Foundation as well as JP Morgan, one of the, I think, one of the bank in a fiscal organization, which is top 10 in the list. So the people are demanding, like, I mean, we will be supporting the guy who support the skill education. I mean, that is the crux of my challenge. And God forbid if the corona stay, and skill education that has the 70% component is a physical component. People should come, they should touch the thing, they should utilize that one. And 30% is like, of course, this cognitive component or lectures or thing like that one. So what will be the solution for, of course, every university has certain skill program, but for a university that is 100% on focusing on skill education, it's a mega challenge for that university. So I would like to, I think we can start from Dr. Madni, that how he can help us in that way. And then definitely anyone else can just jump in and help us, like how we can do it. Please, Doctor.
Are you asking me to talk about it?
Yeah, please. How,
okay.
I mean, go with that one. Yeah, sure.
Well, I guess we already discussed this to some extent in our previous discussions as well. As far as the physical component of the courses is concerned, so it used to be difficult probably in the past, but it is not that difficult today. Reason being, whatever the lab component is, we already have some pretty good simulation tools available for it. I would be discussing, for example, if you take mechanical engineering or civil engineering, very heavy sort of physics component. But we have almost developed, or we are utilizing the already existing simulation tools which our students are actually using, and those simulation tools are mimicking the exact equipment that is within the labs. So what we have done is we have already recorded all the lab components of the courses, and then we have these simulation tools where they can like online give all the parameters and do all the experimental setups, and then see the experiments running and see the results coming out of it, except, of course, a very few sort of courses. Then we have also, like in some of our campuses, we have pharmacy programs, and then chemistry programs, and they also have sort of shifted their stuff towards computational pharmacy or towards computational chemistry and towards simulation tools. They do run their experiments, and then they get results, and then usually the results of the simulation tools, when it to kind of the equipment, and they're all the ones that actually get in the physical world. But of course, this is something that the students need to experience firsthand. And what we did is we have a very essential list of courses which are impossible without simulation. Which are impossible without the students being physically connected to the equipment. So those courses, we have examined the students in the cognitive part of it, and the physical part of it. It comes to the lab components where it was impossible to do the simulation stuff. So they will be doing those physical labs once the pandemic situation settles and the physical classes start. Fortunately for us, there are no such labs in the final semesters. Usually the lab courses all are done in the lower semester, and in the final semester the students usually do work on their final year projects, and that is also again largely based on simulation tools and all this stuff. The second thing that I want to mention regarding this is I also gave the example of Open University UK last time. I would like to give the example of this, and I would like everybody to visit the concept of their online labs. They are 100% sort of virtual labs, and they have automated all their stuff in a way that people can actually provide all the relevant input to the experiments, whatever the experiments are, be them in chemistry or pharmacy or whatever field it is. And then those experiments are being run, and the results are being produced and given back to the students. So there is a pretty good and full model, and probably now our universities need to think to sort of can be operated physically. And this is the goal for us in the next few years, so that we can have the kind of environment where we do not bombard the labs with the students, and they are able to run their labs from the home or from the computer and do get physical results. So my short comments about this.